We are at Gull Lake. Yeah, baby. And I am Bruce Rosenheimer I sail out of Pine Lake, which is right between Milwaukee and Madison. And this is?
I'm Ellie Murphy. I'm from Gull Lake Yacht Club.
And she's in charge of the sailing school at Gull Lake.
Waterfront manager here.
We're sailing in the Masters Championship at Gull Lake. Well, you have to graduate to the fine old age of 50 and above to sail in the Masters.
I'm crewing. You have to be 50 to steer, but gotta love the young kids on the bow.
I think it's a marvelous boat because it's most of the time you can do it single-handed, but when it's windy, you need crew to, unless you're really large, which I am not. You need a crew to kind of hold the boat down and keep it flatter. So, today or last 2 days, I had Ellie on the boat with me. So, and she's doing a great job. She goes to Madison. She's a Badger, which is great. I'm from Wisconsin.
Go Wisco.
So can I say just a few things?
Yeah.
First of all, I'd like to say, thank you very much to Gull Lake and Vincent and Martha and Katie and Chuck and the whole Dreesen clan and the family and the Anderson. I know Dave Anderson was integral in this, and everybody's done such a great job. It's a big production when you bring in 50 sailors with their crews and spouses. So I want to say thank you to the Gull Lake group. It's been marvelous. Everything's gone absolutely fantastic from that standpoint. And then there's one other thing. Dan Fink is our national president for the MC Association. He's doing a fantastic job with that. And then this young lady is in charge of sailing school, and we want to put a plug in for sailing school for the Gull Lake Sailing School Association. And then one other thing, there's a gentleman that's retiring from our sailing organization in our fleet. His name is Jim Click, and he has done an absolutely fantastic job championing this sport, and has been a great advocate for sea boats and MCs and e-boats, and has helped so many people, and we're going to miss him. He's moving out west with his bride, Debbie, and we want to thank him for everything he's done over his career and helping everybody in the sailing organizations.
It's great. I've learned so much this weekend from Bruce especially and everybody else around here. Running a regatta, I've learned so much. Sailing in the regatta, I've learned so much. No shortness of life lessons, sailing lessons, all of the above. And to be back at home and having all these people, it's been filling my heart with joy.
5 and pretty much breeze or wind, yes. Her legs are a little sore from hiking out and stomach exercises, right?
Good workout for sure.
I think, Bill Draheim, who's the winner of the regatta so far, has all first places. And in one race, we were actually chasing him and could see his sail. So we were fairly close, and that was exciting. But I think for the first race today, we nailed that starboard.
Yeah.
We went deep into the right, and we nailed the starboard, and we probably picked up 15 or 20 boats.
That was great.
I mean,
that was the best shift we had.
that was the best shift all weekend. So that was fun.
It's a great question. I come from a yacht club that was huge on getting girls and still is huge into getting girls into sailing. When I was younger, I was one of the only girls, part of our big fleet of X-boats and Opties. And I've kept with it, and it's been great. It's been super rewarding. I've learned a ton. It's great. It's a great sport. It's great for everybody. I do. I sail for the Wisconsin team, and we've gotten to the point where we have about more girls than we do guys on the team, which is awesome. Yeah. And we're trying to build up more women skippers. But the crew life is, I think that's where I belong. But I mean, I think the boat's a little easier to get your hands on. It's not the most expensive scow. And sailing it, you only have to sail yourself if you want. You don't have to, find a team and get all the supplies. It's a lot easier, I think, to start for people sailing. And it's so easy for all ages to do. Like, you could be young and doing an MC and you're old doing MC, which obviously this weekend has proved that the MC is great for all ages.
I do. Yep. My grandfather sailed, my father sailed, and I was fortunate to get mentored and tutored from them. So yeah, I come from a long line, and so does my wife on her side. So it's, I think that helps a lot when you're starting. And I asked Ellie if her family sailed, and she said no. She's learned it all on her own.
Yeah, I came from a family that didn't sail, but living on the lake when I was growing up, it was something my parents put my older brother and I into when we were young, just to make friends, and turned into a love for the sport that will definitely continue for the rest of my life.
Sure. I have a good e-boat story. All right, so I was sailing e-boats on Winnebago, which is a big lake, bigger than this lake, and we were racing again. It was a championship regatta, and we're going upwind, and you know, most of the competition was reaching off to the left or to the right a little bit more, the really good sailors, but we were sticking it right into the wind, and we got to the first mark, and we were first, and when we got to the first mark, we had sunk. The water just kept coming over and over, and the reason the other guys, the good guys, were laying it off to the left and laying it off to the right was because they knew their water was, the boat was filling up. But when we got to the first mark, it was up to the top of the cockpit, and we just had to retire from that race. So,
Man,
lesson learned.
yeah, that's a tough one. What about you, Al?
Oh gosh, I don't know if I could think. I mean, I've had nothing here, but I tipped in a college regatta this fall. I tipped, and it was Charles River, and it's the dirtiest body of water in the entire United States. And I remember flipping, and it was so windy, and I was with someone who was also very, very light, and our mast got stuck in the mud, and we turtled, and so we were stuck there trying to pull it up, and we pulled the sail up, and it was brown with mud. So then we had to retire because our sail weighed too much to even sail it because it was full of mud. So.
Sure. You want to go?
You go, I gotta think.
Okay, so my favorite thing is I think the sailing group, is probably the most camaraderie and just special group of people that I get to see every year when I start doing the regatta circuit, and they're just wonderful people, and just, it's just a pleasure to be around these people and get to see what they've done over the winter and meet them again as the season progresses. So that's one of the special memories that I really enjoy and like about the organization and sailing.
My best memories have to be here. Any regatta I've sailed here. First ones that come to mind are we had an ex-inland like when I was really young, and it was the thing that I think got me like really hooked on sailing and competitive sailing, and really into the inland. And getting back into that in the last few years with college sailing and meeting friends from all over the country who also do sailing and hopping on their boats, really getting me back into the competitiveness. So old ex-inland and inland regattas when I was young, and then coming back here for MC Masters and hopefully getting some more regattas here. Those are my... I'll be back. I'll be back.
Thank you, Gull Lake. Thank you, Dreesens, and the rest of the crew here. It's been a phenomenal regatta and a great program.